What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about 4 different stocks. Actually, I think 3 of them are stocks. One of them is an ETF, tomato, whatever. 2 of them will be Bitcoin mining companies. One of them will be a Bitcoin adopting company. And the other one will be an ETF that I haven't heard about until today, but we're going to be going over WULF, WLF, starting it off with that. Moving on to CleanSpark, CLSK, and then MicroStrategy, MSTR, and finishing it all up with BLOK, which is new to me. And we're doing these at the request of Mr. Jason for WULF, Gil Herme Parangol, maybe. And then MicroStrategy for B Swift, and finishing it up with BLOK for Mr. Ryan Lip, the Rhino himself. We're going to be getting this thing started right about now, so buckle up for safety. Here we go. Looking at TerraWolf here on the monthly, very bullish month, very bullish volume. Your RSI is getting there. It looks nice. Monthly RSI is so weird, man. I don't know why, but it is. Probably going higher. I would bet you're probably going higher, yes. You probably will go above the 382 even. I doubt you stop there, right? You probably go around where you found resistance before at about 380. Here you are at 215 right now. What a bullish finish to last week as well. I guess not so bullish, but I mean just the week itself was up 20%. You know, that's pretty good. It looks like you have bearish divergence, but I don't think you do. I think that as of right now, yes, you do, but no, you don't. It'll be invalidated as you get higher in the RSI, and I think that you will. I think next week, this coming week, if not the week after, you're going to see prices that are above $3 probably in a very short amount of time. Here you are sitting at 215 now, so that's nice, man. Very, very short amount of time. You're probably going to see some decent gains. You could come down. It is possible that you could come down a little bit next week. You know, if you don't get that breakout, that's not really a good straight line. Maybe not like that. I was thinking more something like this. I don't know. You don't have to go down, but I thought that was a little bit more in line than it is, so never mind. But yeah, man, this thing looks pretty good. The RSI looks nice. The 1 hour RSI looks kind of sad, which leads me to believe again that maybe in the beginning of next week you see some downside. But overall, I would expect that if next week was to be a bad week, it would probably be a neutral week. Maybe it starts off bad, but then it closes good, which would make it neutral. And then the week after would probably be the week that you'd see that follow through. And if you're not above $3 by the end of this month, maybe it'll be sometime in January. But all in all, I think this does look good. For more upside, both on the daily and the weekly. It looks really good. You're about to get into that overbought zone. I think that's when the fireworks are really going to fly. And if you can get above that price there at about $4.04, it's on all the way to $6, potentially even up to $10. So this thing's just getting started. Finding a little resistance at the 618. Again, if you were to come down, that's not crazy. You're at 215 now. You could come all the way back down to $1.60 and still be fine, more or less, right? Though maybe look at that $1.90, $1.80 area first as like a line of support. But yeah, Wolf looks good. Any dip is probably a buy the dip opportunity. CLSK, CleanSpark, love CleanSpark, man. I know a lot of people they're asking the same questions here that they're asking on these 2 weeks, that they're asking on this week here, and it's always, is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time? You know, nobody's asking about buying, everyone's asking about selling, and it is taking its sweet time getting to the price targets that I have, which are at anywhere between about $12.50 to $13, maybe even up to $14 to $15. It is possible. It could go higher than that even. But at least, I'm thinking it's at least going to go around $13, at least above $12.50. But that remains to be seen. Already last week we did move up all the way up to 12.24, very close to my price targets, but we didn't quite hit them yet. I'm being patient, man. I'm really being patient. I do think that it's got more to go. If we take this high here to this high, you know, we've got a little bit of leeway. We hit it here, we hit it here, we hit it here. I think we got a little bit of leeway, and that takes us all the way up to about 1465, man. Decent volume, very strong RSI, very hot for a little while now. Anytime that you've been this high, which, let's see, looks to have only been once, twice, 3 times. This is your 4th time ever being this high in the RSI. Oh, actually, 3rd time. You didn't even go that high last time. You've gone higher. The last 2 times that you were this high, you went higher. So who knows? Maybe you do go higher in your RSI. You can definitely see readings in the 90s, and that kind of reading would be enough, I think, to take us all the way up here, maybe even past that. But CleanSpark, I do think, wants to continue higher. This daily RSI looks really nice. Really, really nice. Higher lows right here, bouncing. You're getting out of the overbought zone and then getting right back into it. Like, I love seeing that. So, and just steady, slow but steady, you are moving up, right? You're not giving anything away. Volume hasn't like died off. It's actually pretty decent. It's not increasing, but it's still pretty decent. And I think this bearish divergence that you have, it's going to get negated with the next positive day of price action. And even if it doesn't, your bearish divergence formed all the way back here. So maybe you move back. You're at 11.89 now. Maybe you move back to $10.30. But I still don't think that it's time for a more serious correction on CleanSpark until we see that like $12.50 to $13 price, if not higher. I'm going to take profits around $13 probably. I'm not holding out for that 1460 number. Even if it hits, great, but I'm not taking profits around there. And I'm not going to sell everything, but I'm just going to sell my stock options. I'm not going to sell my stocks themselves, and then I'll probably buy whenever it does come down, because again, we're probably getting near the end of this up move, right? If I had that line drawn on there, we're not quite there, but we're close. We're getting there, right? Top to bottom here, the 1618's all the way up there at 1254. That's pretty close. The 1886, we probably do top off somewhere in between these two lines here. If we go and zoom way the hell out from top to bottom, top in January of 2021 to bottom, and I want to touch on something real quick after this, but 618 to 69 also in that same area, like literally overlaps it. So I very much do think that we're going to see prices that are a little bit higher. Even if we go down below $11 next week, we're probably not done until we see that $12.50 to $13 range. Is my genuine, and I would bet that we do break that range a little bit. We break above $12.54 a little bit, but I test. What I'm trying to say is, somebody mentioned in the comments that as long as Bitcoin's going up, CLSK CleanSpark will probably go up, right? Well, Bitcoin topped off in November of 2021, right? Like toward the end of November even, I think, not the beginning, but this thing had already been in a downtrend for about a year, right? For about 10 months there, 11 months. So Bitcoin can continue to move up, and this thing can move down. They don't move 100% in unison. That's not always the case. Though right now, with all this excitement around the ETFs, with the excitement that the bull market's getting started, CLSK, I think they've made some pretty good financial decisions with like reinvesting in their company and just getting like more equipment thrown down, more miners and stuff like that. You know, I think that we're definitely in a correlated phase with Bitcoin. But let's actually see. Let's do that. BTC USD new price scale, logarithmic, yeah, and then delete everything. Let's throw on the correlation coefficient. Do I not? I don't have it on my it should be. It should be on my favorites. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Technicals. Apply. So let's just look at this. Let's just look at this for what it is right now. So times where we're uncorrelated, times where we are correlated. We've been in more correlated times right now. Right now we are definitely a lot more correlated than we have been in like most of this thing's history. So I would think that if Bitcoin goes up, this thing will go up. If Bitcoin goes down, this thing will go down. But we will have moments where they do decorrelate, where Bitcoin continues to go up and this thing remains stagnant, or it goes down. This thing may continue to go up. CLSK, CleanSpark might go up, and Bitcoin might remain stagnant or go down. They're not 100% correlated all the time. Though right now we're definitely more correlated than not. I don't actually know why I put this on there, but all that to say, guys, I do think higher prices are in store for CleanSpark right now in the immediate term. Any lower price from here is just going to be a opportunity to have like a last minute buy if you're trying to take profits in that like $13 area. But yeah, man, I don't know if I have anything else to add really for CleanSpark. Horizontal resistance right here at about $13.91, kind of near that $14 area again, right? You've got this trend line from here, from this high to this high, kind of intersecting this line, kind of not. It goes a little bit above it around that $15 level. You don't have to hit this line. You don't have to hit this line either, but I would expect that you would probably at least hit this horizontal line, or maybe not at least hit that, but you would at least hit, I would expect that you at least hit that, which is 1268. But I am anticipating a move that's beyond $13, potentially even beyond $14, maybe even all the way up to $16. But at some point it's going to retrace, and that's what I'm trying to get to ultimately, is when it retraces. See, this is the hard part because we don't have the top yet. But when it retraces, seeing prices come all the way back down to this 886, all the way down at $7, just below $7, it's very possible. Very, very, very possible. I would even say likely. And if not there, at least to $9.50. But I would very much think that $6.97, that $7 area, is very much at play after we see the top. So is it a good time to buy CleanSpark? I don't think so. I think that it's a good time. Maybe it's a good time to take profits, but I think the prime time is yet to come. And then if you're patient, probably before the halving or maybe even around the halving, you're going to see these prices revert back down here near previous areas of support, right? Let's put a line right there. Let's do it on this 886. Resistance right here, a little bit of resistance in this area here. Resistance, support-ish, support. Yeah, and that's all we got. So somewhat significant, relatively speaking. But something down there is where I think we're going. So anyways, CleanSpark up and then down. That's all I got for this. Let's move on to MicroStrategy, MSTR. Nice little double bottom here on the weekly. Top to bottom. You're in your golden zone. You are in your golden zone right now, man. You're actually finding support off the 618. This looks nice, man. Papa, I forget if you're holding this one, man, but if you're still holding this, I hope you are, because it's probably going to go up from here. But I think you sold it, if I remember correctly, but I don't know. Let me know. I'm sure you'll let me know if you're watching this. But anyways, I love you, by the way. Shout out to the man himself. But anyways, let's see here. Let's see. I mean, I like it, man. I do like it. MicroStrategy looks like it wants to keep going up. Yeah, the daily RSI looks good too. Volume is not too encouraging though. You have an opportunity. I mean, if you get more volume coming in, you just broke out kind of, right? So and decent volume, but more volume. Let's get more volume in, higher readings, because if not, you might play out with this bearish divergence. You actually might see a more immediate move. You're at 619 now. You might see a more immediate move back down to around 500, maybe even 470, around there. But if that happens, you're still on like an ultimate trajectory, I think, higher, right? If that happens, if you were to move down to like, what I say, 470, something like that, that would be like a higher low in this uptrend that you have here, right? So that wouldn't be too bad. Maybe you do move all the way back to the 0.5. It's common enough. It's more common, I would say, once you reject the 618 area to come back to your 382, but you've already found support in that, and that would kind of break you out of this uptrend you have. So I feel like that 0.5 around 420 actually would make the most sense for support. And you could find support above 420. Just because that's where the 0.5 is itself doesn't mean you have to go there. Previous area of support right here as well. Just to mention, a little bit of resistance in this area. But that's the thing too, is you've got a little resistance right here. Maybe you find support right there at about 460, you know. Who knows? But all in all, I would think that if you go down, that's probably where you would go to. In the immediate term, it's hard to say if I think it's going to go up or not. I'd like to see how next week plays out. If we can get some days to close higher and some volume to come in, like in the beginning of the week, then I think things could look good. If we don't, if things are red, that's still okay. But if you break, like really, if you get a day to close below like 584, it's probably going to mean you're going to go down to that 420 area, 460 area soon. Right? Let's see. I mean, like, just how long have these consolidation phases been? You know, up, and then you consolidate for like really, like, here's your move, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then up, and then you consolidate for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, and then up, and then a long bit of consolidation. So, I mean, it could be months, man. It could be around the halving that this thing consolidates until, you know, something like that could happen. If you close below 584. If not, I think things are still good, probably up until your 786 or at least your 69 level, which the 69 you're pretty close to, but that'd be at 647. Here you are at 620. The 786 would be all the way up at $807, and you very well could go up there. Resistance in that area, I wouldn't think that you'd break it. If you were to break it, it wouldn't be by much, but at some point you're probably going to revert back, and I actually wonder, I'm just curious, would it be, yeah, you could go all the way up there, man. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all, actually. You could go all the way up there before turning around. Definitely a nice looking weekly RSI. The daily RSI looks nice, but it has the potential to look ugly, so don't give it that potential. Let's move on from there, man. I'm optimistic for MicroStrategy, but as long as you're not closing below, like, really don't close below this like invisible line that you have right here, right? This like ascending lows. If you close below, like if it looks like you had a fake out and now you move back and you're having a breakout to the downside, that would not be encouraging. That would be the I think the catalyst, especially with this bearish divergence forming, the decreasing volume as you're moving up. That'd be the catalyst to send you all the way back down here, like, genuinely speaking. So just watch out for that. Watch out for that. I am a little bit optimistic though. That day looks nice, man. It really does look nice. Finishing it all up with BLOK, BLOK here. Amplify transformational data. I think this is it. Mr. Ryan Lip, if this is not it, let me know, man. Let me know in the comments. I will happily do another video for another one. But if this is it, or if it's not, we're still going to do some technical analysis on it. So, because if I look, BLOK, I mean, it's the only one on the New York Stock Exchange. BLOK, it's not Blocktopia, right? I've heard of Blocktopia. I think I even did a TA on this a couple times. Looks interesting, but I don't know if it'll catch. Maybe they've done more developing. I really don't know much about Blocktopia, but we're not talking about Blocktopia. We're talking about BLOK here. Top to bottom at your 1272. Nice to see. Very strong on your RSI. Looking like you could go a little bit higher, and that makes sense because your 1414, your 1618 is a little bit higher as well. You just broke through your green line. Seeing this kind of continuation afterwards is normal, but you probably will stagnate for a little bit or even pull back to like where the green line would be, you know, if it comes around there, and find support on it, hopefully. Something like that's very common. If we're looking back in history a little bit, around this top, nope, that's not it, around this top area to this bottom area, right now you are kind of in this price range, right? This little consolidation phase, you're like right in it. So to go all the way to the top of it wouldn't be too crazy at all. You're at $30.88. You could move all the way up to $36 before you decide to consolidate more. Maybe you don't. maybe you only go to where the weekly high close was, which is at 34.81. It's a little bit lower. If we take, again, we take this relative extension into play, your 1618 is actually very, very close to that level. It's also possible that you could extend past this. You don't have to stop right at these levels, right? They're just ideas. You could go all the way up to your 1886, maybe even a little bit past that, and find resistance on a previous area of support up here, all the way at $39. You are pretty overbought on your weekly RSI. You could get a little bit more overbought, but to be fair, in this thing's history, you've never been more overbought than 91. So you're at like the third highest you've ever been in the RSI. So take that into note. You do have these higher lows, higher highs coming into play. You could come down all the way down to the 50, man. That would demolish this price. Like really, truly, it would demolish it. And not too bad. It's at $30.88, going down to $24. If you're in crypto, losing 20% is not demolishing your gains, right? You guys are pretty used to that. But I know I am, man. Just close your eyes, go to bed. It'll be back. You know, that's how crypto works. But let's see. Let's look at some other stuff. Come on now. Top there to bottom there. Right at your 0.5. But look at that, man. That 618 literally comes right into play with this previous tops. Yeah, I think you go higher. You could find, if you found turbulence here, maybe you go down to your 382 and then go up into this area. That's very possible as well. You kind of did it here. Found resistance at your 382, found support at your 236, and then moved up. You could stair step. That's possible. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you're going higher. Oh, the volume though. The volume is the one thing that I don't like. I like this RSI though, man. I think you're going, if you go lower, it won't be by much. And if you go higher, it'll be a lot more than you go lower. But I do like it. I do think it continues. I do. Your chance to turn around was here at the 1272, but you're like, nope, I'm going to keep going. So unless this is a fake out again, like some kind of fake like last minute push to the upside, and next week you get a sizable move down to around like $28, I think this thing is probably fine to continue going up until about what is that, 37? 30s, yeah, around 37, probably a little bit below 37. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys, man. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Mr. Ryan Lip, I hope this was the one. If not, just let me know, man. If there was a winner between these three, I think WULF, man. WULF looks really good right now. It looks like it wants to do a lot more in gains than any of these other ones do. MicroStrategy looks good, but it's a little bit of a question mark. And CleanSpark, it looks like it wants to continue going. I think it will even. You know, probably even like decent percentage gains, to be completely fair, in a very short amount of time. But the potential downside that's coming makes me want to put it on the back burner. I think WULF looks a little bit nicer, but what do I know, man? Nobody knows the future. I can be wrong. I have been wrong. I will continue to be wrong. It's part of the game, man. It's being a good technical analyst, you guys, is not and I'm not a technical analyst, I just meant being good at it, right, is not being right all the time. It's about knowing how to be wrong. It's about being wrong and not sticking to your guns and being like, oh no, it's still going to go up. And then like it goes down 60, 70%, and then it finally starts to go up and you're like, see, I told you. No, that's not good technical analysis. Technical analysis is not about being right or wrong. Of course, any technical analyst out there would love to be more right than they are wrong, but it's about managing your wrongs is really what it is, and managing your rights. You know, anybody can make money, but it's really hard to lose money and not lose a ton of money, right? You get emotional when you start losing money. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.